everybody, and welcome to the Colossal Kaiju Fan Podcast. It is me, your host, Sharktopus117, and today we have a very special episode, long in the making, of the Progenitor Party. Joining me, as always, is my good friend, Spotted Alien.
Hello.
And we have 3 progenitors here to talk about progenitor ships and stuff. So, as in random order, first and foremost, making his return, we have the Striped Protector.
Hello, everyone.
And you were on an episode previously. You were on the Heart Eater episode.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I wasn't on that episode because I was out of town that weekend, but that's not relevant right now. Next, we have the big, the bad, the Shadow Man.
Hey ho! I'm here.
That was a noise, alright. And then, lastly, we have Mr. Desrasaur 3300.
I appreciate the work of my name, because Destro is my name. Thank you.
No problemo, excuse me. Actually, I didn't burp. That was a good one. Okay. So, today we're here to discuss progenitor ships and y'all's, experience with progenitor ships, because, it's fun. It's a process. And, it should be clarified that everyone here is a progenitor except for myself. So, I'm the odd man out this episode.
Yeah, so what we're basically going to do this episode is just kind of talk about the process that we went through, what it was kind of like, how it started, what happened in the middle, kind of the aftermath, and everything in between.
We're going to just talk about the progenitor ships for a while. There's really nothing special about today's episode besides just the fact that we're going to, have a nice little time. So, do any of you guys want to start off as to, telling your story of how you made it to the progenitor ship?
Should I?
Well, how about we'll go into the clockwise order on my screen. So that would be Striped, Shadowman, Desro, and Spalian.
All right.
Well, I'm not sure if I want to go first, though, but it would be good to get out of the way.
Well, you did ask the question. He did ask the question first, so it'd be kind of fitting.
True. Well, basically, how I got into it, I just paid my $500 and waited my turn, the 50 people did.
Oh,
yeah, because you were one of the backers.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
And then the whole thing with the what was it?
Wizards of the Coast?
Yeah, that happened, and then things got backed up for a bit, so it happened a little bit later than it was supposed to. And I was supposed to go ahead of Gamgirl, is that what she's called?
Grimgar?
Yeah, her. I was supposed to go ahead of her first, but then things got switched around. She ended up going first. Did I say she? Because I'm referring to the kaiju.
Yeah.
I like Bogrim better as a name.
Well, that's something we can talk about when we get there. Have we talked about?
Yes, you guys did.
Yeah, we talked about her and Shalandra already, right? Yeah, we did. Okay.
I love those two.
I'm so behind.
Sorry about that. I'm just
okay. I completely forgot our episode schedule because this took a while to get started. Okay. Back to the topic. Shadowman, how did it happen with you?
Oh, well, I was kind of here at the beginning, when we had the first Kickstarter and it failed.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I was one of the ones that was contacted, because I was the one, put down
you were
the $500. Yeah. So I was contacted. It's like, would you, just to help. It's like, yeah, I'll fine with that. I paid my $500, waited, and kind of got my monster.
All right, nice.
Yeah. That's kind of how I got my progenitor ship. When we get to the other parts, there might be more.
Yep.
Just potentially.
Hoping there will be more.
There will be a lot more.
And then, Desro, how about you?
Well, that's actually a pretty interesting story itself. Well, I too was at the beginning with Big Bad, but the thing is, I was offered to have my monster put up to help a little bit, but this was during the second progenitor ship. Not the second, but I was here at the first one. Words got twisted. Okay. Anywho, I was here at the beginning with the first one, but it didn't fail. It failed, of course. Afterwards, I got offers saying since I have my 500 down, I should have my monster made, but Thing is, I refused because I wanted more time to think on it instead of just, rushing out into it. I might making something that was less interesting. So I waited and waited and waited, and boom, I got Aggie out there. It took a while, but thing is with me, I'm very patient.
Yeah.
That is a trait not many people have anymore. Myself included, to be 110% honest. Anywho, Spalian, how about you?
Mine's kind of one of the first that went through the system, as it were. I wasn't one of the ones to pay the $500 like the three we have here. I was one of the first to put my monsters up for Progenitor, up for sponsorship in the card game. It's kind of miraculous how that worked out. I won luck of the draw to get into the card game, won luck of the draw to get Evo, but Evo doesn't really affect it because
it's just for funsies.
Seismosaur was voted in SPN 1 to go on to get me to Progenitorship. So, that happened. Waited 4 to 6 months or something like that, and Seismosaur is one of the official monsters in CKC. Well, the CKC version of Seismosaur. That's always a differentiation with me because I have so many different Seismosaurs. But anywho,
I just imagine a majestic herd of Seismosaurs wandering through some prehistoric plain, and they're all sad. Because
are we going to get like a multi-crossover Spider-Man universe-esque thing going on here?
You clearly haven't seen the Seismo AU, which is a collection of Seismosaur alternate universes.
Does one of them have a giant robot? Because a giant monster fight
not yet.
giant robots.
Not yet.
Mecha Seismosaur. That's all we need.
Actually, I think that's one of his nemesises. Anyway.
Anywho.
That's off topic.
We'll leave it in. Why not? It was fun. Word. While you guys were collabing with Simon and Matt to make your character, how did that whole situation get started? Like, how did they approach you and be like, yo, let's get started? Was it just a Skype message and they were like, you want to go? Or
for me, that's pretty much how it happened. Like, Matt didn't join the Skype conversation, but technically the information came from me, went through Simon, and then went to Matt. That's basically how that went down.
Yeah.
So, and then again, there's the whole being rushed thing, and he was trying to do hard for the other progenitors. Sorry about that. And so, it was just kind of quick and simple collaboration with me anyway.
Yeah.
Also, with that happening, kind of makes me wish I kind of waited and held off on the $500 thing, but I didn't really know about the sponsoring kaiju. I didn't know that was a thing until later, so that happened.
Well, to be fair, there was always the chance that it might not have happened because they only took 3 from SPN 1, and that's I'll get to that when it's my turn. But
yeah. Anyway. In the short time that I had with my collaboration, I gotta say, Hound and Nita did turn out pretty good, though. Like, being rushed and having the collaboration being kind of short and all. I'm kind of happy with the way she turned out, though.
Alright. Showman?
Same kind of here with the whole, they just contacted me via, I think it was email, then Skype. At first we were kind of, mine's a little bit more hard because there was multiple things because I didn't have one idea straight down. I was going between 2 ideas.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted pretty much a giant monster version of the Predator in a sense, which later turns out to be Heart Eater. And the other one was kind of more of a giant. The other one that I scrapped for Nat. And kind of trying to bring back for the sponsorship was more of a giant, giant mechanized robot monster, which I've kind of decided to refine and, have now. But no, it was kind of hard because actually there was a lot of going back and forth, A lot of things I didn't actually like about certain design elements, but we were able to hammer those out and fix them up and make compromises, and it was good and all. I mean, it was stressful, but it was, I'm happy where I am now.
Yep.
All right. Desro, how did your collab go?
Well, thing is, at the time, I was kind of new and, nervous, so I don't know this, if quote me if I'm wrong, correct me, I should say, but I think I'm the only one who actually didn't outright, talk to Matt and Simon. Instead, it was more of a text chat. I mean, I got to hear their voices, but I didn't actually have a talk with them on a mic, because at the time I was kind of really, really nervous at the time and was paranoid of the whole
Internet
chat thing.
Obviously, you're not anymore. Thank goodness.
No, thankfully I'm not. But basically, that is really my only regret. I often wonder if things would have turned out different with Aggie, but my main regret is that I didn't have the courage at the time to outright talk to other people on the internet. That was literally my only regret. But overall, despite some hiccups I've had here and there, I think Aggie turned out pretty good. I mean, she's really unique. She's a Frankenstein creature, 2-in-1, and plus she can make little baby things. Don't think of her any other I should say. Almost, she looks so much like a he, sometimes even I forget that.
I think K-Doc also has drones. No, not K-Doc, because that's not sponsorship. Or Progenitor, excuse me. Rosie, there we go. That one.
Yeah, but I don't think her babies can attack other monsters, though.
Not 100% sure.
Neither.
He's informing us that they can.
Yeah.
I also forgot how the English.
I forgot how the English.
Well,
I was gonna say.
I
like Aggie's design.
Same. Aggie's pretty cool. How did go for you, Spalin?
Basically about the same as it went for all of them. I was just kind of it was kind of weird for me because I was under the impression I kind of came in under the impression that they would try to set up these specific dates and we would try to collaborate to find what times would work best and when we could all get together and do that. When really it was just a random email saying, "Hey, can you get on tonight?" And I said, "Sure, yeah, whatever, let's go." And we basically kind of hammered out. It was literally Simon said something along the lines of, Matt wanted to draw a Seismosaurus, so can you come on tonight to collab?
Collab.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah. So it was probably a lot more formal than what I was expecting.
Yeah. I was going to say, thinking about it, I think I might have been the reason why it became so easy for everyone else.
Yeah.
I was the stubborn rock in the middle of the road.
So, how was the experience like for all of you? Like, the atmosphere?
Well, but again, I keep going back to this, but yeah, it was kind of rushed, but it was still kind of enjoyable to be able to talk with Simon and come up with ideas for the character,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, it felt really quick. But it didn't feel like, okay, we gotta push this out. Go. It felt like, all right, we're gonna get a general idea, and then we're just kind of gonna go with it. So.
Yeah, and then when the collaboration process was over, I was like, I hope people can appreciate this and the amount of time it was done in because of the whole thing, everything just getting backed up with the whole court case and everything.
Yeah.
Just because it was rushed doesn't mean that people shouldn't see less of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say.
Stressful, but it was both fun and
a learning experience.
Yeah, it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
It's like get everything you want off the bat, right? I mean, just get the idea out there, refine.
Yeah, that. And another thing about it is I thought it was fun because it was creative. I just wish it could have lasted a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was how a lot of the progenitors that we have, most notably Tersakra, however you pronounce it, they started out as one idea and then completely changed. Like he was originally like a garbage heap, and then he became a giant like iris protector.
Well, that's not necessarily true because Grimgirl, Bogrim eventually became Grimgirl, and there wasn't a whole lot that changed. It was basically just a zombie alligator.
Well, yeah, but I mean, have any of you had a similar situation in which you had started out with one idea and then ended up with something completely different? I'm gonna assume most of you have not, just knowing you, but maybe.
Technically, sort of, because I was gonna go with Hyena, to begin with. But then he's like, what do you think of the idea of making your character female? I'm like, all right. And so that's the only technical character difference is that, one's female and the other's male. It's like kind of a combination of Hyena and Hyneta. Because I like to think of Han as her own character.
Oh yeah, because, HON, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine, again, kind of, hard one. Because originally, idea for Heart Eater was more of a, Predator-esque, where she would kind of look more like in my head, look more like the Brumox from Gears of War.
Yeah.
Just massive cannons and guns attached to...
just a bunch of guns going out everywhere.
Yeah, technically giant weaponized monster. With kind of like a main, because one of my favorite elements is just technically take two common things in different species and combine them.
Yeah.
Big reason why I like the Cathaga from the Relic, because it's freaking a lizard man.
Yeah.
Except it actually has like an actual mane.
And then there's hybrids like
hybrids,
Sharktopus and whatnot.
Sharktopus, yeah. But we kind of idea of just making her more armor based. I think it was Simon. It was either Simon or Matt. One of them actually brought up because the person that went before me made Dragon Lotus.
Yeah.
And they actually, because we were having a hard time trying to figure out what to do with her, so they asked, do you want to have, like, story-wise, do you want it to be, it's like, it'd be kind of cool if we have it be, like, she is kind of the more corrupted, evil, or more diabolical version of, like, what Dragon Lotus would be, kind of, in the sense, like, Dragon Lotus is Venom, while Heart Eater will be more like Carnage, except Carnage fused with Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
All right, that's one way to put it.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I could do that. I could see that. And it was yeah. I mean, I think the only thing I actually had the most difficult was the gun hands. Not a big fan of weapon hands.
Yeah.
What about you,
kind of have but we were able to, make a compromise of actually the idea of the hands being stuck in the gun, but I'm fine with that. Just as long as she doesn't lose her hands and instead replaces them with guns, because that is like the most 90 thing there is.
Yeah. Or like having the guns attached to the wrists.
I actually like that idea, the guns attached to the wrist. I'm a big Boba Fett fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the main reason Simon just tried to do something about that was because the hands are probably just a detail in the end.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure why.
I'm just assuming it was a matter of animation that they just...
I don't know
both animation
enough about...
and...
Yeah, I don't know enough about the engine to say this is exactly why.
Wrist mounters.
Yeah. Sorry to go off topic a bit, but like when I say that, it makes me think of Kiryu.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at Kiryu right now, and I'm like, I love that fully mechanized version, like the fully arsenal version of Kiryu the most.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm excited for the new Godzilla game, because it has that version.
What about you, Desro? Did you how was your monster developed over time?
ironically, she started out as well 4 different concepts actually: a winged serpent, a Komodo dragon, a revived alien saurian, and some space-looking dragon thing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Simon's 2 favorite being the space dragon thingy and the winged saurian, revived saurian thing, because one reason they could fly, and at the moment we kind of had a shortage of flying monsters.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. Thank goodness we don't anymore. We have a fair amount of flying monsters now.
Well, and anywho, what became of that is I ended up mixing some concepts together, like Aggie's original design was actually a whole bunch of things like a barracuda, a freaking dragon, and basically had retractable fangs in her mouth, and even a retractable scorpion-like tail that was hidden in the stinger, but that was, of course, cut out.
Yeah, that seems a bit complicated.
Yeah, and hands on the wings that could grab. Those little things. Those things were cut out because they would be too difficult to animate, especially the hidden stinger and the rattle. I got that idea from Jiger, one of Gamera's villains.
Oh, yeah. Jiger's the gross one.
Yes, she's the only girl villain and the only villain that has defeated Gamera more than once in the same movie.
Yeah.
Personally,
it's all about Baragon.
Baragon froze Gamera.
Baragon is the best. He has rainbows.
Taste the rainbow.
It's amazing.
Who doesn't like a good rainbow? But anywho, we ended up thinking patchwork monster. As Simon liked to put it. But instead of the rudimentary Frankenstein, I decided to go with something more unconventional. The frog arm, that was Simon's idea because there was a severe lack of frog powers. More frogs, he said.
And then we got Saltora a while
More
later.
Frogs 2014.
Yeah.
15. Oh wait, no. Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah, whichever.
And and also Aggie
More
was
frogs
slightly,
20,
and Aggie
16.
was oh my bad.
No, don't worry.
Aggie, and also she was actually a slightly bit shorter. Her original size was 44,000 tons and 90 meters, but I said, nah, I wanted her a bit bigger. Let's jump that up though. 155,000 tons, just the max average, because I couldn't go over that because then it would be, wait, how could something that heavy fly?
Yeah, like what was I gonna say? Like Destroyer. I was gonna say like Desro, but that's you. So
It was
yeah,
part of the inspiration for my username, by the way. He's one of my favorite monsters of all time.
Destroyer is pretty cool. I like Destroyer.
I like Destroyer too. He just looks like the devil, except in giant monster form.
And we both said it at the same time.
He's the devil.
But
I've heard that Destroy is a she.
There's a big. I mean, Destroyer really, frankly, is an it, considering it's
because it's just a mass of Precambrian life forms. It really doesn't have a gender.
Yeah.
Wait,
Off topic, I'm sorry.
hold on. Samus is a girl?
Samus is a girl.
Wait, Halo is a guy?
We no one knows.
What if Zelda was a girl?
Isn't Zelda's the villain, right?
No, Legend of Zelda, Zelda is the princess, Link is the hero, Ganon is the villain.
I don't understand the title to those games.
Confusing, I know, but don't worry.
Okay, anyway, we're off topic.
Bear with me, guys. I'm almost done with my long dread.
All right.
Well, basically, the minion idea came like barely near the end. With the whole idea that I like the revived Saurian concept the most. So I decided, hey, let's have this superpowered alien guy that can adapt to monsters' abilities. I mean, at the time, I was a big fan of Extremis, ever how you say his name. I really liked his adaptable power bit. So instead of full-blown copying that, I decided to make my own version of it. Having lots of ways to attack people is the next best thing. So I decided, let's have this super powerful, adaptable creature get to Earth, have a bunch of monsters team up, beat them, and then come back as this basically. And also, it's worth noting that a lot of people wondered about, like, how's it a she? gender is how would you consider that? I mean, she was a he at one point, but when technically he kind of got murked at later on by a bunch of unnamed monsters, and basically got put in a monster graveyard, and the head became active and made a bunch of new parts.
I would imagine it's like the head perceives itself as female because it has such a motherly like motif to it.
Yeah.
That's my explanation to it.
Yeah, it's like, I can create life. That means I must be female. Except I imagine it still has kind of like a Mojo Jojo's type voice.
I think once how Simon explained it was kind of the
True.
stereotypical Adradon was very aggressive, very
Yes, Adradon was basically a mix of King Ghidorah and Destroyer in terms of personality.
and so stereotypically he would be male.
And ergo, with Agradora being the opposite, she would be female.
Yes, but it's kind of sad because even though she's usually tries to keep to herself, there are people always trying to pick a fight with her for some reason.
Yeah.
So basically, Matt outright asked me, like, what would you want the minions to look like? And I said, I leave that decision to you, Mr. Artist. So basically, one thing I did, I want the minion attacking the little bitty guy used for like measurement, not measurement.
Or height.
Oh yeah, the scale dude.
Yeah, the scale dude. That's what I was trying to say.
I always love those. Every time he does something funny with them.
Yeah, they're pretty good. There's some good gags there.
I tried, so I said I wanted the guy looking up at Aggie and the little minion like, what the heck is that? And it went to a good effect. Overall, I had pretty positive results from it. I often wonder if I could have. One thing I wanted to do was that every part had its own power. I know the frog powers, poison powers, but maybe maybe the legs give her better move over the ocean, or the strata. Basically different abilities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What about you, Spalian? Unless you still have more to say, Desiree.
I have one more thing to say, Dan. I'm going to cut mine short. I've dressed on enough. Basically, I had this concept with elemental powers, but I decided to cut that and maybe save that for later on, just in case something worth game developing in that future comes along.
All right, then.
That's all I have to say. Your go, my buddy.
So basically, with Seismosaur, there wasn't a whole lot they really wanted to change. They just kind of wanted to focus down the idea because as Seismosaur is, he's got a pretty broad general character concept. So what we kind of, and this was kind of hilarious to me because this ties into, the odd complaints that I'll be honest, I never thought I would see as it pertained to me was that the head is too small. No, the head is too big. The head is too big. I never thought I'd see that. But basically, what we wanted to focus on was a kind of a kid growing up too fast, because the Seismosaur I usually have is about 18 or 20 years old. The Seismosaur for CKC is something around 15 years old. So he is kind of in that age where he would probably start to grow up and start to have more responsibilities put on him. So we largely focused on the standard design was mostly kept the same. He was just kind of slimmed down to appear more juvenile. But as for his history, we focused more on kind of making him a character who was thrust into getting a whole lot of responsibility and having to grow up maybe a bit too fast. So consequently, he's now got a lot of power, but at the same time, he's still a kid and he's still trying to just do his best. So we focused on slimming him down, kind of making him a bit more juvenile. But overall, they didn't really want to change a whole lot about Seismosaur, and I was like, I mean, I'm fine with that. The only thing there wasn't a whole lot we really had trouble with. We just kind of talked about very briefly, like, is there a way that we can explain the armor? And because we all agreed that the armor kind of made Seismosaur. That was just the armor and his height were what his most identifiable features were. So we tried to see if we could explain that in some sense. And but overall, I'm pretty happy with how Seismosaur came out. Granted, he also didn't change a lot, which I'm pretty sure I was one of the odd cases where not a whole lot really changed from concept, from the initial idea to the final result. But we still did have quite a bit changed. Like, for instance, he's now a part of 2 dimensions instead of being just this kind of random kaiju, and he's obviously not as big and bulky as my usual size.
Yeah, the original version.
Yeah. Or my own. It's complicated because I'm probably still going to... I mean, I draw how I draw, and Matt draws how he draws, so this is... things are gonna... I don't know.
Yeah.
We're just gonna be doing what we do. So.
In short, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess before we wrap this up and get on to the last bit, is what advice do you guys have? Because there's a lot of people out there who are trying to get into these spots through sponsorships and whatnot. And what advice do you guys have in character creation for these kaiju?
Make sure your character is well developed, and make sure you know what you want to go with when you go into the collaboration.
Have some type of hook that makes it stand out, but also at the same time, don't make it that be the only reason you're pushing the monster.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Don't. Oh.
Oh no, you can go.
Yeah.
I'm still working on my other one.
Basically, don't give up, and don't be afraid to experiment with things that would seem unorthodox. You just might find something that will click.
Yeah. Yeah, really, my advice is just have the stuff that Simon and Matt kind of say, we would like to know this from you. Have your idea, but really just kind of don't worry about it. They're kind of there to just have fun and help you through it. They're trying to make it something that everybody's happy with. So, but also just kind of know that I don't even know where I'm going with this. Just know that it's okay to
have a couple of changes made here and there, because some of the changes they come up with are pretty good, actually. You know.
Yeah, they're trying to make, because again, they're trying to make a result that you're all happy with.
So. Yeah, because I know some people are like, no, I don't like change. Wow. But sometimes the changes they come up with are actually pretty beneficial to the character. And once you open up to the idea of the change being made to your character and like seeing how it could affect or better your character, then it's just like a better trait, you know.
Yes, I can testify to this. Aggie was once a guy at one point, so I changed. And they offer say, "Hey, want to change to a girl?" I said, "Okay." It might seem interesting to the personality of the character, and I'm like,
"Yeah, that's the same thing I said that had happened to me." You know.
If you know that you're going to have, if you're going for the sponsorship thing, you do have a lot of time to actually work out stuff yourself.
Yeah. Also, don't have a good idea of what you want, but don't get too specific, because that's like with Seismosaur, I know I could easily have gotten, well, it needs to be exactly like this, and I need to have this sort of stuff.
Fun out of it.
Yeah, like I even know that when I was given one of the previews, I just had to kind of keep myself back around certain aspects of the face because, I mean, it was getting too nitpicky. And
Nitpicky.
yeah.
Yeah, I've done that before. And also, another thing is, like, some things need to be changed so they can implement it into the game, because some things you might not be able, the game might not be able to handle it, and then they change something so it can actually fit into the game. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, if you want your character in the... Oh, go ahead.
My bad. I was just trying to say that some things might be too difficult to animate, so you might need to change it around a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, don't be like, wham, this one part of the design I really wanted has to be changed, but like, you want your character in the game, right? So you have to be open to changes like that, otherwise it might not work for the game.
Yeah. Basically.
Also, I want to say one more thing. Don't be a nervous mess, or you're gonna end up like this.
Yeah, it's really just, it's not something to get super nervous about. Like, I know everyone's always so concerned about the progenitor votes or the sponsorship votes or the SPN1 votes. And not to make it seem like it's less than what it is, but it's really not something to get super concerned about whether your kaiju is popular enough or if it just gets that luck of the draw to get in there.
Yeah.
I know it's definitely something that everyone's kind of aspiring for, and I know I definitely was very I was probably really concerned about Seismosaur getting up there or not. But after all of this, I was just at the end of it all, I was just kind of like, okay, this is done. I don't know what I was so nervous about.
Yeah, when I went into a collaboration, I was like, oh boy, collaboration time, because I was kind of nervous a bit, but like when it started off, it's just really kind of casual, and just the whole thing was just casual, and just went through it, and it was over and done.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'd say this was a pretty good episode, if I do say so myself. We got some insight into the process of becoming a progenitor. So, how'd you guys like being on the podcast?
I
that's pretty
enjoyed
good.
it. I would
Fun.
join again.
I hate this. Why do I keep coming back?
Because
I would've
you
loved
owe
to
me.
be
Because you have to.
Because they haven't found a replacement yet.
Because Spalian owes me his firstborn unless he does this.
Oh,
So,
right. I only exist in the
Spalian-
You're saying you're
Rumpel-
Rumpelstiltskin?
basically. So,
I would have-
this is the part where we normally bring out the mailbag, but nobody sent any mail, so send mail,
No.
guys. We need mail.
I want
So
mail.
though.
Let's give you all a question, actually. What's a good question to ask the public? Actually, why don't you guys come up with a question to ask all the listening public to send in answers for? And you can answer it right now, if for yourself, if you'd like.
Where's Rachel?
Where's Rachel?
Rachel! Oh, okay. I want to go off
You
subject
think
topic for a second.
Rachel is on your side?
Have you seen how it would have ended?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like,
plenty of time.
Where like, let her go. That's a poor choice of words. And he's like, then the Joker drops her out the window. It's like, Rachel.
All right.
So, what?
Oh, you should see that. That's
okay.
funny.
Any questions?
Questions.
So,
I have one.
Yeah.
Okay. If you saw a kaiju outside your front door, and it was holding a cup with free that says, "Can you spare a cup of sugar?" What would you do?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it a cup of sugar. I'm sure there's nothing wrong that could go with that.
Wait, is it asking for $3.50?
Oh,
No.
it doesn't need tree fitting.
No,
Will
that
it take
tree
a
fitting.
and
regular pack
don't
of
worry. This is not a Jehovah Witness joke. Okay, this is just a cup of sugar. Okay.
All right. Well, there's your question, audience. Send that to colossalkaijupodcast@gmail.com.
Don't
I
you
would
mess
have-
this up for me. I need my sugar.
I would ask something. I have no ideas for questions.
Oh.
Also, just
If I could ask a question, what would you have me ask? There you go. Answer that one.
that's an interesting one. All right, sure,
Best
answer that
question
too.
there.
And we also normally would have a top 5, but because this is a kind of interesting episode, we decided not to have one this time around.
Top 5 of.
Oh,
yeah.
of
I was gonna say
something or
I
other.
have a question.
Yeah.
Mostly because most progenitors and monsters have kind of little flavor text of backstories. What is like the smallest, or what is some aspect about the backstory of certain monsters that you like? For instance, like I like how Eggy has this whole idea of a monster graveyard.
Oh yeah, like a little tiny detail that's kind of skimmed over. It's like that sounds awesome.
Kind of skimmed over, or kind of like a little bit of world building.
Oh yeah, I like Kirinex's allusions to a giant galactic kaiju war.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a super legit question.
What's your legit question?
Okay, audience. If you could have any part in the collaboration of any of our kaiju, what aspect would you have added or taken away?
Ooh.
From our kaiju? There you go. There's something for you.
That's a good one. That's actually
I know several people would have said make the head smaller.
Yeah, that's
lose the eye
automatic.
beams.
Lose the eye beams.
Why wasn't it so bulky?
That's something else other than that, though.
Why is this one not a dinosaur?
Draw more for us? Draw me something for free. Spot, can I be your friend so that you can draw me something for free?
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Hey, Spalian, can you draw me something for free?
No.
I have actually been getting those notes this past week, and I'm not a happy panda.
Wow.
So yeah.
And I'm not even a panda, so...
Putting that out there, don't send Spalian notes trying to get buddy-buddy with him just to get free.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea. Or any other artist, for that matter.
I was gonna say
that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, it's just so insincere, and it's...
That's bad juju right there.
That's bad. That's bad taste, y'all. Don't do that.
I was gonna say at least buy 3 commissions from him first before asking for the free art.
Well,
and if you're gonna ask for free art at that point, like ask for like a sketch. Don't even ask for anything proper.
Yeah.
Well, if you support him on Patreon, then he'll give you a sketch.
Yeah, that's.
Well, let's finish. We should probably finish off here.
So, shout out to Patreon.
Yeah, support Spalian because he needs money right now. Send him Patreon donations.
Click on the link here, even though we're not going to post one.
No, now we're going to post a link in the description now, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we can put one in the video at the top right.
Or we could put one when we post this on the podcast thing in the thread.
Yeah. So, on that note, I have been the Sharktopus 117.
I've been Spot Alien.
I have been the Shop Protector.
I have been Destin all night and day.
And I have been the Big Bad Shadow Man.
And we're done here.